Okay, this is a video about my attempts to make a helmet cam from this, if you ignore this bracket that's in my hand, just this gum camera that you can buy quite cheaply on the internet. They're also available in British shops, but at quite a lot more. And my first attempt was just to, as I said, just ignore the bracket bit for now, was just to fit it inside the jaw piece of the helmet, slotted down into this gap here, which is the breath protector to keep your breath away from steaming up your visor. I just took that the piece of plastic that was in there out. I cut this, this is part of it, this little pocket clip here. I cut that down so that it wasn't going too far down that slot, and I extended the depth of it. Obviously it wouldn't fit over that inside part of the helmet, so I had to make some little rubber pieces and put different screws in, meant taking this metal front piece off. It looks like the back because all the buttons are around here, but of course that's the front, that's the little camera lens in there. And put it all back together again, slotted it down, and it worked great for the audio, but as you may have seen on another video, it was pointing far too low. Pretty well just over the handlebars at the best. Realise that this is because actually when I'm riding, although actually when I'm stopped I tend to kind of lift my head up. When I'm riding I'll tip my head down, so anything, particularly as that's on a bit of a slope as well, it ends up kind of 30 degrees off. Still ignoring the bracket for a moment, what I then did was just put some pieces of Velcro on the back of this camera, and had a little wedge piece to go in the bottom with Velcro on either side, and then Velcro on top and bottom of the jaw piece on the outside of the helmet, so that I could mount that on the helmet that way. It was then at quite a good angle, but sticking out the front, it's got mostly just wind noise. You couldn't do any kind of commentary voiceover, live commentary as you're going along, whereas inside the helmet it was great for that. The other thing was it was quite unstable, I think, and I wasn't sure how much that was to do with having two layers of Velcro and the fact that there was no kind of width across it that was stabilising it. It was it was fastened all kind of vertically with just 2 little pieces of Velcro. So I then finally, we'll get around to the bracket, I then fashioned this bracket which allows me to put a wider triangle of Velcro pieces, although they're still not really perfectly aligned. But I don't think I'm going to go down this route much further. I did also take off the little there's a little switch slider thing on this helmet, which is an Arashi helmet, for ventilation, which isn't really important to keep, and it just pops off and can clip back on again. So I just left that in the open position and popped it off so that this would fit better on there, and it does fit quite well. It also allows a good angle. It also means that I can adjust the angle, which I thought would be ideal to solve that problem. But it's very obvious to anybody, and you know, you don't really want to attract attention to the fact that you're filming if you can possibly help it, I think. So, and it also still has the problem of wind noise. It's also, of course, not protected, whereas inside here, if you're riding at slow speeds, you can put your visor up, as I tend to often do anyway at junctions and things, to get absolutely clear visibility, and there's no reason to have your visor down particularly. And then when you get up to a bit of a speed, you can put that down, and that would protect it. So I'm now going to try something else, which I'll tell you about in a future video, which I think is going to involve actually hacking into the camera itself and realigning the camera component.